It's really bad. I don't think you can walk for 2-3 days, she said as you're trying to get up. No, I'm sure I can, you said as you try to put gently your feet on the floor. Call someone from your home, Ryan. I know it's not serious one, but still, you need to be gentle, she said as you looked at her and smiled. I'm strong, she sighed and looked at you. I know you are, but I still informed Jungkook. He must be coming. You looked at her, widening your eyes a little. Why did you do that? I told you not to tell anyone. It's not a major accident, but you should be careful. You sighed and looked at her. No worries, but I need to go. I have an urgent work. You tried to wear your sandal, but his in pain. And she rubbed your back. I told you not to wait. Jungkook must be coming. You pressed your lips together to suppress your pain. He won't. He has some important meeting. Ryan worriedly, door opened revealing Jungkook. And you looked at him when his eyes landed on you and he quickly rushed to you while doctor smiled as she moved back a little. Are you okay? You okay, right? He worriedly said while checking you while cupping your face. You just stared at him as you have seen him this much worried for the very first time. And you gathered yourself before speaking. I'm okay. You replied softly and he took a relief and looked at you angrily. But there is a concern. Are you out of your mind? You have your eyes right or you have buttons. What the hell you were working on the streets, stupid girl? He scolded you constantly and you just looked at him while doctor admired the couple. You came to scold me? Then why did you come? If you can't help, you said as you were a little annoyed and he gave you a blank look. You are too much, he said giving up as he looked at your ankle which is covered with bandage. As he bent down to see and you wide your eyes, Jungkook, you said and he touched your ankle gently and he gave you a look. And you look other side. Never seen any careless woman like you. You squint brows while Dr. Chakar looking at you both. You will never see because I am the only one. You replied sarcastically and he rolled his eyes. As he there is a silence for a while and he got up and you look at you. And why were you crossing the road? He asked and you but didn't answer and he tilted his head a little. You want me to tell the uncle? You looked at him immediately. There is no need to tell Appa, you said coldly and squint. Then answer me. You played with your fingers as you looked at the table and his gaze followed yours. There is a flower bouquet on the table and you looked down as he picked it from the table and looked at you. You got off to buy this? He asked and you took it from his hand and before looking at him. Yes. He looked at you unbelievably as he can't find any words. Now help me to outside, you said coldly as you were about to wear your sandal but he grabbed it. Oh hello. Doctor, is anything serious? He asked concernedly while doctor smiled and shook her head. Thankfully not, there's just a sprain. Jungkook nodded and he looked back at you. My sandals, put them down. Jungkook's wind rose and when Kane, he called his secretary as he walked in. Yes sir, he said walking in and Jungkook extended your sandals to him. Take it away and take Ryan's car with you, he said as his eyes fixed on you. Excuse me, why my car? How I'm gonna go? I have work. But a gasp left from your mouth as Jungkook picked you up in his arms. You can't be trusted, woman. So careless of you, he said glaring at you. Stop mentioning that and put me down, you replied with the same rage. Can take the prescription and buy all the medicines, he ordered to his secretary. Are you deaf or something? I'm telling you to put me down. Can't you hear that? But he walked, making your mouth hung open. He gently made you sit in the car while you are just staring at him as if you are going to dig holes in him. And when he sat other side and wear a seatbelt and you are still glaring at him and when he spoke. Stop throwing daggers on me. He speaks coldly without looking at you and still glaring at you. What was that? Why you brought me like that? I'm not a baby. He finally looked at you. I think you were. Because you really need someone around you to take care of you. He replied with the same rage and there is an intense eye contact between you both. Done roasting me? He let out a dry chuckle. No, not so yet. He replied dryly as he drove the car. You need a caretaker. You still didn't learn to walk properly yet. Still 5. Enough, Jungkook. Stupid, he mumbled and you glared at him. Do you want me to break your head right here? He chuckled mockingly. As if you can. He mumbled and you rolled your eyes as you start looking outside of the window. There is a silence in the environment when you are looking outside and Jungkook taking glance of you. And when you look for something and Jungkook is constantly observing you. And when you looked back at the seat and took the flower bouquet and stamped them and smiled a little. Jungkook is noticing your every action. You just smiled and Jungkook looked at you. That's your favorite flower? He asked suddenly and you looked at him. He just hummed in his response when his focus went back to driving and he looked at him. Every girl likes flower and I am one of them. But my love for Daisy is unbeatable. He just listened to you as you peek at him. Husband. He just hummed in your response. What's Sana's favorite flowers? You asked when Jungkook pulled the brakes and looked at you. Sorry if I asked you something wrong. You said pressing your words when he drove again. You should be, because that's not your business. He replied coldly and you squint rose. How rude, behaving as if I don't know anything. You mumbled and he shook his head. How Sana used to deal with the Rudy like you. You mumbled and he glares at you. When your focus went back to flowers and there is a silence for a while again. Why you like this flowers a lot? He asked out of blue and you look at him and then smiled. It has a beautiful story. You replied and he looked at you as you were smiling softly. I like daisies from starting and there was a person in my life who made it more special for me. This time Jungkook pulled the brakes a little recklessly as you almost bumped but his hand saved you. Sorry, he said and he looked at his hand's gesture and he quickly took it back. There was a dog, he said hesitantly and you just nodded when he drove again and he cleared his throat before speaking. What you were saying? He said and he chuckled lightly. I have loved someone in college. Jungkook gripped tighter on the wheel. There is a daisy tree in our college and there was a beautiful flower on it, which was on height and I wanted that so badly. And when that guy, my crush, came and plucked it out for me. And that was the very first time we have interacted. The moment was so beautiful. He observed the smile on your face when you were telling him this, and he doesn't know why he's feeling his blood rushing so high as he looked at you and asked. Then he asked coldly, and you looked at him, raising brows. Means, what happened to him now? And you pressed your lips together. I won't say I just liked him, but he was my one-sided love. I never had courage to tell him that I love him. And I think that's the thing which thrown me. He noticed the pain behind the smile. I thought he was interested in me. Eventually we became good friends, but you take a pause. He left the university one day without telling me. And I never got a chance to tell him. You were so lost when you were telling him. And I think I still regret that. Maybe I might get a chance with him if I made a move, but... And you stopped and he looked at you, but you smiled. I don't want to talk about it. You replied and he nodded, but what if you meet him again? He asked curiously, but there is some kind of desperation. Like you would like to go back to him? He asked nervously and you chuckled. Never. He doesn't know he felt happy. Why? You smiled sadly. He's married now. This information bloomed flower inside him and he made a face. Maybe we are not destined, but that's okay. Maybe God has some other beautiful plans for me. You mumbled. Yeah, he replied. I want my Prince Charming, who will love me unconditionally. Someday, maybe. He took a glance at you in between and you look at him. Sana is lucky that you love her this much, but You stopped and looked down, and he looked at you softly, and you smiled. You were massaging your ankle when Jungkook enters the room with the tray, and your eyes met his for a while but quickly looked back. You had an important meeting today, and he placed the tray on the side table before taking the pain relief spray from your hand. As he sits beside you and applied some spray on your ankle, and you just stare at him, but your eyes widened a little when he put your leg on his lap and your hands quickly touched his. What are you doing? You asked, and he looked at you. I hope you can see what I am doing, he said, and he started massaging your ankle gently, and you looked at his hand and then him. I can, but why are you doing this? You asked, and he didn't answer while continuously massaged your foot, and you hissed in a pain. You should have noted the car's numbers, he mumbled while you bite your lips, and he looked at you. I'll file the complaint, he said, and your eyes widened. No, there is no need of that. It was completely my mistake, you immediately responded in his squint eyes. My focus wasn't on road when I was crossing, you said lowly, and he gave you a blank look. Then you should get punishment for that, you frowned. How? I already got paid for it. What else? You said, pouting, and he just stared you. When Jungkook's phone rang, as he took it out before attending it, as he put on the speaker while his eyes fixed on you. Yes, always formal, he mumbled. What are you doing? He asked. Some important work, Hyung, he said while you both staring each other's eyes. You mean you are in meeting, he said. No, I'm at home. Taehyung laughed dryly. Important work at home, shocking, he said while smiling, and you look away. Hyung, why did you call? He asked. No, actually, I called fine. Her phone was off, so I called you to ask. You both joining us tomorrow, right? He asked, and he looked at Jungkook. No, Hyung actually cut it off as you interrupt. Oi, why no? We are going. You interrupt, and Jungkook quickly mute while Taehyung giggled from other side. Oh, that's your important work, he said teasingly while he looked at his phone and you. And how will you go? He asked sarcastically, and you moved a little. Limpingly, but I will go. You don't want to go? Then don't. I'll manage. You said, flicking your hair, and he just stared you blankly. As he unmuted the mic, Hyung, we are not coming, he said, glaring at you while your mouth hung open. You guys can cut it off as you snatched his phone. Opa, we are coming, don't worry, you said to him. Sure I am. And you hung up the call while he is glaring at. I am going, that's final, you see yours. And he suddenly pulled you closer by your arm. Aren't you too stubborn? He said coldly, and you smiled. Yes, I am. Do you have any problem? While smiling, he just stared at you. You have problem. How will you go with this broken leg? You scoffed. My problem, not yours, you said smilingly. You are not going. I am going, and now you are coming with me, you said, squinting your brows. Why, and husband, you replied with the same rage. We are going. Are you going to say no to me? Then you are breaking our contract rules. And anyways, we have only few months left to end the contract. You can do for me this much at least. His grip loosened from your arms. We are going then? You asked smilingly, and he just stared you unbelievably. You can't never be serious, he mumbled. Now what? Should I admit in ICU to be serious? You said while giggling, and he put fingers on your lips, immediately making you smile faintly. Shut up, don't talk nonsense. He scolds you, and there is a concern in his voice. As you looked at his finger and then him, because you felt your heart skipping beats and your stomach twitch, and he removes his finger immediately as he noticed your gaze and looked the other side as he cleared his throat. Take your medicines. We have to reach there by 7 a.m. You almost jumped internally in happiness. You were about to hug him but stopped as he looked at your hands, and you backed while holding your smile. Sorry, you said, biting your lips, and slapped yourself internally. When Jungkook's phone rings as he attends and walked out of the room while you punch in air in happiness. Wow, it's going to be exciting. Oh, food, just heal immediately. I want to play games. OMG, I'm so excited. It will be fun. I wanted to go there for a long time. You mumbled while smiling widely. Jungkook shook his head looking at her. He is speaking at her from door while smiled. Leah and Mia ran towards you and you hugged them as you broke the hug. How are you? She asked and you showed them thumbs up. Awesome. They chuckled and when they hung in Jimin and Yunu walked. Hi Wayne and you waved at them excited. While Leah and Mia looked at Jungkook and Jungkook squinted rose while Leah laughed looking at her his expression and walked to him before giving him a side hug. Sometimes I think you all are friends. You all are her friends, not mine. They laughed. Even I think the same. Jimin replied and they all laughed while Jungkook glared at him. Oh, Jungkook is sulking for attention. Jungkook gave them a blank look. Shut up. Too much sulking, he said, shaking his head, and you giggled. You know, and you high-fived. Oh, you all stop irritating him, he said teasingly. Seriously, Ryan, you replaced Jungkook very well. He barely connect to us after graduation, but I think you are better friend than him. Jungkook looked at them with done look. Fine then, enjoy with your new friend, I'm going. He walked from there while they all laughed as they were about to follow him but stopped by them. He will not go anywhere, just roam around and come back, he said and they nodded. How is your leg now? He asked and you smiled. Much better than before. Taehyung smiled and nodded. I'll see him. Yunwoo said while walking towards Jungkook who is standing in corner and Taehyung nodded. While you both walked with Taehyung as he helped you while Mia and Jimin walked behind. What about Sana? Is she coming? She asked and Mia shook her head and Jimin looked at them. Are we supposed to invite her too? He asked and Mia shrugged. I wasn't sure, but I know she won't be coming. But I still told her as a friend. We were a group once. Anyways, it's her choice. I think she shouldn't. Jungkook might not feel comfortable. Leah smiled. I don't think so. He already moved on from her. Look at him how he's looking at her. Jimin and Mia noticed how adorningly he's looking at Ryan. You laughed a little. I don't think so. People do move on so quickly. And I'm not even sure he will look at me the way he looked at her. You replied well smilingly while Taehyung just stared at you. His friends don't know that you both are in contract marriage and Jungkook specially did this contract to bring Sana back to him. And you agreed for it for your own reasons. You are right. He will never look at you the way he looked at her. But he looked at you the way he never looked at anyone. Taehyung said, looking at Jungkook's direction. He also looked in that direction while he was talking to Eunwoo, but his eyes fixed on you, which made your heart flutter for a second. You never noticed, he said, looking at you, but you smiled. It's your turn, Leah. Now pick a chit, he said teasingly, and Leah rolled her eyes. I won't be doing any stupid thing. Telling you in advance, Taehyung stuck out his tongue. Who made challenges? You asked, and Leah looked at Jimin and Taehyung. Of course, these two monkeys. They are very naughty. Jimin winked at her. Not any tough challenge for you, baby. Leah gave him a blank look. Leah picked the chit while Taehyung and Jimin peeked as she glared at them and then smiled. Huh, two shots. My cup of tea, she said sarcastically, and Taehyung scoffed. Lucky I see. He mumbled. And the game continues. And then the bottle stopped at Jimin and he picked out the chit and looked at them. Dance with a partner. Taehyung laughed at him mockingly. It's a personal attack for a single like you. Jimin teases him back. And he got up and looked at Leah, who turned other side, clearly telling him no. And Jimin scoffed as he looked at me but Jungkook glares at him. and he smiled nervously. And when he walked towards you while he smiled, Ryan, will you join me? He asked, and Jungkook raised rose. She can't dance, he said coldly, and you looked at him while others cleared the throat. I can. It's not hurting that much now. You interrupt, and Jimin smiled while Jungkook glared at you. Please, he said, extending his hand, but before you put your hand in his hand, Jungkook put his hand in his. I'll dance with you, Jimin scoffed. I'm asking for a dance only. You jealous man? I'm not stealing her from you. You looked at Jungkook and he gave you a tight little smile. You can't. I'm asking to dance with me, my dance partner, he said sarcastically, and Jimin smiled. Sure, come then, while everyone cheered out. Whoa, come on, Mochi. They cheered while you looked at them, just controlling your laugh. They both danced and everyone laughed while they both were glaring at each other, and Jungkook is dancing so aggressively, Jimin trying to match his face. Hands on waist, Jungkook, you said while giggling, and he gave you a look. We are dancing, not working out, he said sarcastically, and Jungkook made him twirl. I know. And then they stopped while everyone cheered. Jimin bowed while you shook your head, and Jungkook sat back to his place, and you looked at him. You don't know how to dance, you whispered while smiling, and he raised brows. Really? And you nodded like a obedient kid, and he controlled his smile. Don't worry, I'll teach you. You whispered, and he looked other side smiling, shaking head. Wine your turn. You look at the bottle I stopped at you. Yeah, I'm so excited, you said excitedly. You were about to pick the chit, but Taehang picked the pot and you frowned, and he smiled while shuffling them. Now it's fine, pick, he said, smiling mischievous. Oh, but don't give any tough challenge. Taeyang smiled. Don't worry, I have easiest one for you. Smilingly, and you nodded as you picked the chip. While Jimin and Taeyang looked at each other, and Jimin raised brows while Taeyang just nodded as you opened the chit, and your smile disappears. What happened, Wine? She asked, and you gulped. We are supposed to know the dare, Wine, he said teasingly as if he knows, and you smiled nervously. What's the punishment for not accepting the dare? You asked, and Taeyang chuckled. Bitter got juice. You made your face. I can't do both, you mumbled, and Jungkook. What's a dare, Wine? She asked, and you nervously smiled while Jungkook felt a little weird seeing you nervous for the first time. Tell us the dare, Wine, now. Quickly, you shut your eyes before speaking. Kiss your partner. You spoke nervously, and Jungkook looked at you as you peeked at him. Whoa, that's great. That's a easy one. Come on, kiss him. They cheered while you didn't dare to look at him, but you can feel his piercing gaze on you. Yeah, it shouldn't be taking time then. We have to play more games. You gathered your courage and finally looked at him, and he's already looking at you intensely as you moved a little. Sorry, husband, but I don't want to drink that. Please help me. You whispered to him, and he's just staring you. Just close your eyes. I'll give you a quick pack. Okay, you whisper softly but still nervous. Are you put some excuse? Kiss me. He interrupts, and you felt your heart stop for a while and blood rushing to your cheeks. And they cheered while you just closed your eyes, but Jungkook didn't, as his gaze fixed on you, and he's staring at you without blinking, and you were leaning. Your heartbeat is so fast, as Jungkook's too, and Jungkook closed his eyes too, and your lips are about to touch but. Sana, Jungkook immediately opened his eyes. As he looked at in the direction, and you also opened your eyes as you looked in the direction where Sana walked slowly, and you looked at Jungkook, who is looking at her, while you felt something you never felt before, a fear. You never felt this feeling, and you never imagined this, as it was so sudden that you are not able to understand your emotions too. But something is aching in your body, and your smile completely disappeared. While Yunwoo got up immediately, followed by Mia, as they rushed to her, and Mia hugged her while Sana just smiled. How have you been? She asked, and she smiled. Good. Hey Panda. Yunwoo gave her a hug. Where have you been for decades? She chuckled. 3 years only, Frog. Yunwoo chuckled. Feels decade. They broke the hug. Jimin and Taehyung also walked to her and greeted her. Nice to see you, son, after so long. She smiled. Me too. When her eyes finally landed on the person who was looking at her from a long time. Hi, Jungkook, she said slowly, and Jungkook just watched her. While all of them looked at him, including you, as Sana walked near him and you backed, and something you felt that Jungkook was completely lost, and you knew this day will come one day, but you never imagined how the feeling will be, and you are feeling the same pain you felt 2 years ago, but it's hurting more than it did before. How are you? She asked, and when Jungkook just smiled, I'm good, how are you? He asked, and you just watched him. Jungkook looks so normal, he whispers to Lee, and she smiled. It's because he moved on from her, she replied. When your phone rings suddenly, making you flinch, as everyone looked at you and also Sana, and you smiled nervously. Excuse me, you said and hurriedly rushed before Jungkook could stop you. You didn't get that your legs still not healed properly, but Jungkook watched your disappearing figure when Sana speaks. She asked, and Jungkook looked at her as Sana is asking who is she. And Jungkook just smiles. My best half, my wife. He replied smilingly while Taehyung smiled proudly. You just watched Jungkook and Sana from distance, who are talking to each other, and others are also. They all are talking to each other and laughing while you are the only one who is standing in the corner and from an hour pretending to be on call. The Jungkook is taking glance at you in between. When you saw Taehyung walking in your direction while you quickly correct yourself. Ryan, what are you doing? Come. He said, and you look at him. Sorry, Upa, it's an important call from office. I'll come, just 5 minutes. But Ryan, you turn your back to him and walked a little while talking. Yes, manager Kim is working on that. They hung side and walked from there. What happened? Taehyung took his seat. She has some important call, he replied while Jungkook looked in your direction. As Jungkook put his drink on the table and got up, you were talking on the call while walking slowly here and there, and you already noticed that Jungkook is walking in your direction. Hurriedly, you turned to walk, but your foot tangled, which made you hiss in pain as you were about to fall, but Jungkook was quick to catch you as you closed your eyes and pressed your lips together because it hurted bad. Are you okay? He asked concernedly, and you nodded while pressing your lips together. Well, Jungkook just shook his head as you opened your eyes and looked at him. I'm okay, thanks, you said while trying to stand properly, but he lifted you up in his arms and looked at him, widening your eyes. Do one thing, break both the legs, then it won't be a problem. At least you will be taking complete bed rest rather than hurting yourself because of your clumsiness. He scolded, and you just stared him. You won't get tired of scolding me, right? You lowly said. Never. Because you are the clumsiest girl I have ever seen in my life. You looked at him in disappointment. And you never see again. You replied with the same rage and looked other side while he just stared at you. Put me down, you said when he walked, making your mouth hung open. I said put me down, what are you doing? Everyone is looking at us, but he ignored. Is everything okay with you, Ryan? He asked, and you were about to answer, but no, everything is wrong with her. He replied, and you squint rose. You are the most rudest person I have ever met, Mr. Rudy. They chuckled, and Jungkook glares at you. Hyung, where is our room? He asked while glaring at you, and Taehyung raised rose. First one from upstairs, he replied. Why are you taking me to room? Did I ask you? Put me down. And he walked while all of them just smiled mischievously, and Sana just stared at both of you. Jungkook put you gently on the bed as he bent down on his knees to check on your foot. And he glanced at you when he noticed the swelling. Dare you to leave the bed, he scoldingly said, and you just stared. Then he got up and looked for something in drawer while you just stared him. But you don't know why are you feeling emotional after a long time. Your eyes stared up when someone knocked the door, and you looked, and Jungkook did, and Sana was standing on the door. Sana smiled at you while you just smiled, hiding your tears. "Hello, Ian," she said, and you replied in a very low voice, "Hi." And her gaze shifted back to Jungkook. I brought this. It might help," she said, extending a pain relief spray, and Jungkook smiled. "And take it." "Thanks for this," he said as he's about to walk, but Sana speaks again. Jungkook, can we talk in alone for a while?" she asked nervously while you just looked both of them, and Jungkook looked at you, and he took a while to answer. "Sure, give me 5 minutes," she nodded as she walked while he closed the door. He walked near you as he sat on his knees and applied the spray while your eyes fixed on him as he applied gently and got up. "Don't you dare to come out of this room or move from the bed. Understand? I'll be back," he said as he's about to walk, but suddenly hold his sleeves, making him halt at his steps as he looked at your hands and then you. "And you're lowering your head when you speak, Jungkook." And when he frowned his brows because he felt something in your voice which he never felt before. "I know I shouldn't be saying this." You took a pause when he held your hand. "What are you saying?" he asked concernedly, but you didn't look at him and not say anything. But then he made you look at him, but his heart felt an ache and made him speechless for a while as he saw your eyes are shining with tears. And when he knelt down to your level and held both of your hands, because this is the most unexpected thing, and he is surprised what can bring tears in your eyes because he never seen you crying before. "What happened?" he asked in concern, and your tears lied down as you hold his hand, like if you leave those hands, you are never going to hold them back. "I shouldn't be saying this. I'm sorry, Jungkook. Please don't go back to Sana. Please don't go," you said in crying voice while he just listened you. "I don't want to regret again. I don't want to lose once again. I have never been lucky in love, but I don't want to lose you. Please, Jungkook." You continuously spoke while crying. While listen, you didn't let him speak. "No, you listen to me. I love you, and I'm never leaving you. And I can't sacrifice you. I can't. I'm not a god," you stubbornly said while crying, and Jungkook constantly trying to say something, but you are not ready to listen. "I won't be letting you go. You are mine, only mine, Jungkook." This time cut it off by him, and he suddenly pressed his lips against yours, making your heart stop for a while as he kissed you softly for a while and broke it and looked at you while you were sniffing badly. "I'm breaking the contract," he spoke, making you cry again. Jungkook, he put fingers on your lips and making you stop as he wiped your tears. "Don't you dare to waste these precious tears. First let me complete." You just listened to him while sniffing badly. "I'm breaking the contract marriage. I'm breaking each and every rule which has been a barrier between us till now." He cupped your face. "I never thought you would ever cry like this for me. God, you look beautiful when you smile all the time. These tears suits you," he said, wiping your tears. "I'm more scared to lose you than you, understand?" he said while kissing your cheek. "I won the life when I got you. When I first saw you, I knew you were my destiny, even if I tried to deny it," he said with heavy thought. "You are the part of my life which is inseparable now. I love you the way I never did to anyone. Anyone means anyone. It's just you." He whispered the last word. "Are you saying that you love me back?" you asked innocently, and he smiled slightly. "I just don't love you back. I love you more than you. You tell me you love me more than daisies." "You mean I'm late?" she asked smilingly, and Jungkook just smiled. "I don't know. But maybe we are not supposed to happen, do we?" Sana smiled a little painfully. "You were right. And I think our love was not that strong. If it was, you will never move on so easily." Jungkook chuckled lightly. "I think you're right. It wasn't. You break us, I made efforts, but I think sometimes destiny knows what's better for us. He said, looking in your direction. Who is laughing, talking to them? Sana also looked at you and looked at Jungkook the way he was looking at you and smiled. She won the life because you never looked at me the way you looked at her. Jungkook looks at her and smiles. I won the life, and I don't think I will ever get a life partner better than her. What we say everything is good until we get the best one. And he took out his phone before clicking your picture and smiled looking at it. And I got the best one. He speaks softly and Sana just stared at him. One deserves you more than me. She replied and Jungkook just listened. I wish you both best for the future. Jungkook smiled. Same to you. I hope you find someone you deserve, who can support you in your every decision. She smiled, hoping for the best. There is a silence for a while. You came for? He asked out of blue. I came for you, but I think I'm late. I'm going back to US. Jungkook just nodded. It's true you realize the person worth when you lose them, she mumbled. I won't agree on this because when you love someone unconditionally, you will afraid to lose them. I felt this pain, I know that, he replied smilingly. And he looked at Vine and his eyes met hers. And she flashed a warm smile to him and he smiled back to her while giving her a nod as he looked at her Sana. Here we go. Jungkook is here now. Complete your challenge, Vina. He speaks and Jungkook took a seat beside you. Yup, go ahead. Which challenge? Jungkook asked and you played with your fingers. Incomplete challenge to guess you. Everyone completed the challenge except her. Jimin added while you are all nervous as Jungkook looked at you. Of course fine, or just accept the punishment, Jungkook nodded. Who will dare to punish my wife when I'm here? He asked and everyone made O face as he looked back at you. She will do it. You will, right? He asked and you looked at him all nervous. Are you feeling shy perhaps? He whispers and you looked at him squinting brows. Me and shy, don't you think these are two opposite words? You replied confidently and chuckled. It was, but now they are synonyms. He replied teasingly and you squint eyes. As you cupped his face and he raised brows while they cheered. I'm just nervous. Don't make me more by looking like that, he whispers and he smiled. If you say I'll close my eyes, he whispers back and he nodded. I will kiss you, don't kiss me back. Jungkook smiled mischievously. Can't guarantee that. Give a look. Come on guys, be quick, she interrupted. You take a deep breath as you close your eyes and press your lips against his as you planned to only give him a quick peck, but before you pull back, Jungkook pulled you closer in a deep kiss and got lost in the moment. Taehang and Jimin looking at you both shamelessly, but Leah covered Jimin and Taehang's eyes while Mia covered Junu's. Mia and Leah looked at each other. I think we should go, Mia nodded.